In this springtime compilation,
Wow. In front of me is a vision of beauty.
our Bondi vets give some captivating baby animals a much-needed helping hand. From a lost lamb with a shattered leg
In terms of fractures that he could get, it's just about the worst.
to orphaned fawns needing a new home.
Fawns are probably one of the hardest orphans to rear, and they just are an animal that literally can die from stress.
And a newborn camel fighting to survive.
This is a true veterinary emergency.
Our dedicated vets work around the clock to give these new lives a second chance.
Look at you being all emotional.
Right now, I'm on my way to an animal farm. I've just received a call from the manager there who's discovered a lamb dumped in a box on a front doorstep. Now, it sounds like it's got a broken leg. If they have serious injuries, they're often regarded as being totally expendable. So he's just so lucky someone actually cares.
Hey Lisa, how you going?
Hi, not too bad, thanks.
So where's this lamb?
He's just in here.
The lamb is just 4 weeks old and in serious trouble.
He's got quite a nasty fracture of the mid-shaft of his femur.
Okay.
Everything's just crumbled in the middle of
Yeah,
him.
not attached
Now
properly.
he's either been kicked or he's been
Crushed.
run over or crushed in some way.
Yeah.
In terms of fractures that he could get, it's just about the worst. If nothing was done about the leg, then the sad reality is that the lamb would have had to have been put to sleep. He's a stoic little guy, he's tough, he just doesn't show a lot of pain.
That's it.
How can you just pack your gear up and walk away and say, no, it's too hard? You can't.
Looks sad.
I am a bit. He's you're a little sweetheart. I shouldn't get attached, but I do.
We do need to talk about a name too. Leroy. As in Leroy Brown. Baddest lamb in the whole damn town. Aren't you?
Leroy. I think Leroy's cute.
See you
Good
later.
luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'd love to say that I'm confident, but the reality is we don't fix too many fractures in lambs, especially none that feel as bad as this one does. We don't know that we can actually help him. Just don't know. Liesl, Leroy, Liesl. Hey, I'm sorry, buddy. It's okay.
So this is a little bit strange, I know.
Yeah.
X-ray.
So, that's obviously what his femur's meant to look like. That's on his right side there. On his left side, when we're looking from above, you can see the bone comes out, it's been fractured, and now it's up like that. I think it's fixable. I'm sure it's fixable.
Leroy needs major surgery on his damaged leg. A pin will need to be inserted to hold the shattered femur together.
This is uncharted territory. We do this on dogs. We've never done it before on a lamb. Who knows how it's going to end up.
But first, it's bath time to make sure any contamination on Leroy's skin is removed.
There's a label here actually that says do not tumble dry as well. So
Thanks for the shower.
If bacteria gets into an open wound during an operation, it could be fatal.
nice and dry, Leroy.
Leroy also needs to be fed. The lamb is seriously underweight.
That's it. Nothing more. The only nagging worry I have is that we may fix the fracture here, but if there's been significant nerve damage, then the function may never return. In fact, his Leroy has to be able to walk if he's to go back to that animal farm. Otherwise, it just doesn't look so good. So that's the fracture there. You can see it's quite an explosive fracture. It looks as though it's just blown the two fragments apart.
Chris needs to pin the two fragments together.
It looks a little bit grotesque, but it's the first anchor point that enables us to
bring the top bit in line with the bottom bit of bone.
Operating on a lamb instead of a dog or cat is causing some problems. Chris is struggling to judge the right amount of anaesthetic for Leroy.
We've had a few scares where he just goes so deep all of a sudden that you've got to really check that he's breathing. He's still got a heartbeat, but he likes to hold his breath for quite a while. He's a bit of a daredevil under anaesthetic and likes to scare us. How's he going then, Jules?
He's good.
That's right. Colours are right.
Stable.
See those two bones are aligned now? We've got the top fragment of the femur meeting the bottom fragment. Looks pretty good. That is a relief. That was tricky. That was really tricky.
Now it's about rest and rehabilitation. But there are no guarantees that Leroy's leg will heal well enough for him to return to the farm.
Rest up. No, stay off. No, I don't want you to use the leg just yet. No, see, it doesn't work yet.
The next few days will give us the answer about whether he goes back to his mates or whether the future doesn't look as bright as we'd like.
Hey, Leroy. Leroy, what's all the noise about?
Leroy's rehabilitation is continuing at the clinic, but his badly damaged leg still needs to show significant improvement.
It's all right, buddy.
And while Leroy's coping, Chris is well aware the little lamb has no future unless he makes a complete recovery.
My biggest concern for Leroy right now is the risk of nerve damage. Without physiotherapy, he may never really walk normally again. Leroy, come on. And as strange as it might seem, walking around the clinic and following me is actually part of his physio. How you doing there? Slippery floors? You know why they're slippery? Because you wee on them. That's why. Leroy and I have certainly become a little attached, yeah. My only concern is that whether Leroy now considers himself sheep or human. I think it might be time to head home for the weekend and maybe even hit the beach. It's a new breed, it's a Labradoodle.
Is it?
There aren't many of them around. You reckon she got it worked out?
No, not really.
See those little waves in the water? That's called chop. Next time you hear the word chop, run away as fast as you can. That's my life advice to you. Hey, Leroy. Leroy. What do you reckon? Running to your milk now, Leroy. I've got a feeling he just signed his own release papers.
Leroy is heading back to his mates at the farm after a successful operation on his shattered back leg.
Hey, Lisa. Yeah? Well, look who it is. Come on, Leroy. Come on, buddy.
Oh, hello, little one. Come on, hello.
Buddy. See spots here? That's what you are. You're a sheep, Leroy. My only regret is that we washed him before we brought him out here. I think we should have roughened him up. If you haven't noticed, he glows. He's so luminescent white. See you, champ. I've really been fighting, forming that bond, but he's Leroy Brown. He's part of the family. Where are you going? Leroy?
Leroy,
I'm sorry, buddy.
you got to stay here with me now.
It's your new mum. It's going to be hard driving off now.
There are times in life where you meet people truly special, people that you know make a real difference. Pauline Kidner is one of those people. She was one of the original wildlife warriors here in the UK and set up an amazing rescue centre for sick and injured wildlife about 20 years ago. I've known her for years. She's a fantastic lady, and I've always promised that I'd go out and see the great work that she's doing. And I'm excited to say that today is that day. Hello!
Hey, how are you?
Mwah. Great to see you. So amazing to finally see Secret World. It's gorgeous.
Well, it's not just pretty. We're very, very busy.
Okay, you're putting me to work already.
You're coming here to work.
Gee whiz, you drive a hard bargain. Let's get stuck in.
Over to see Michelle, our vet nurse. Is that okay?
Great, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
there's lots of stuff coming in. So yeah, the mini block really is for animals that are hands off.
Pauline opens the stable door and wow, in front of me is a vision of beauty.
I think fawns are probably one of the hardest orphans to rear, and they just are an animal that literally can die from stress.
They're just exceptionally beautiful animals, and I think that's actually one of their downfalls is that people see them alone and automatically want to pick them up and give them a cuddle. But in fact, Mum has probably left them there and knows exactly where they are and knows they're safe. But by cuddling them, Mum's almost certainly not going to come back. And that means they find themselves in rescue centres like this.
And that
Whoa.
one. That's
You're enthusiastic.
That's the two you've got there.
Gee whiz. Whoa.
Right. Over
Okay,
there.
wow, you're more hungry than my baby son.
Scott will be bottle feeding the two fellow deer, Angus and Devon, but there are strict rules.
From the first moment that I saw the fawns, I was immediately instructed that I could not talk to them. I could not really gain eye contact with them. I just had to feed them and that's it.
Come on.
Hello, wow, you sculled that, didn't you?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're very fast feeders.
Gee. They are beautiful.
That's no, you shouldn't be letting them do that.
You can't kiss me. That is far too forward, I'm afraid. Pauline gives me the evils, and straight away I think, oh God, I've done wrong here. But you know what? The fawn made the first move, and it's pretty nice. Hey, I'll buy you one drink. Just
We
one
all know
drink.
we love him, don't we? Hey?
I totally respect your restraint because I can just feel from this little animal that it wants me to mother it.
Yes.
It really does.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we don't want them to know, that they can do that.
The great thing about looking after these fawns in this way is that they actually eventually are going to be released into the wild. What a fantastic vision that must be. So I've definitely signed up for being involved with their release when that does finally happen.
Okay, you know that we weren't allowing you to cuddle anything because it's not what we do.
I know very well, yes.
Well, with this one, you can cuddle her all you like.
Yes, finally a bit of animal cuddle. Fantastic.
Isn't she so
I've been trying to obey orders. I've tried not to cuddle anything. I've tried not to talk to anything. So Pauline goes, you know what? I've been good, and she's going to give me a little surprise just as a thank you. Oh, wow. She is so divine. So, sorry, what was her name?
She's Polly.
So Pauline introduces me to Polly, the red deer. She's absolutely beautiful. She's about 20 years old, and she's actually a pet.
Do you love me, or do you just love bread? Do you love me, or do you just love bread? You're a silly.
She's an animal that has been used to humans all her life, and as much as they tried to put her back with red deer, she wasn't having a bar of it.
Come and have a look and see who her friend is. I think
Yeah.
you might recognise her. If I can... There she is.
Oh, you've got an emu that is the most extraordinary pairing I think I've ever seen. A large Australian bird and a massive red deer are mates. All right, well, that's something I've never seen before. Who expects when you're walking into a deer's enclosure that you're going to see an emu? And what was even more amazing was when they were side by side, it looked a little bit like the Australian coat of arms, except for whatever reason, the red kangaroo had morphed into a red deer. But hey, when in England. G'day, mate. Been in England too long.
Lost his accent.
Lost his accent. You've changed. You've changed. I love where I work, but being here and working with these dedicated people, I totally understand how they become so passionate about wildlife. They're not earning loads of money, they're doing it because they love the job. Pauline, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a great time here at Secret World.
Thank you for all you've done. It's been great to see you. And I just thought you'd like to see the new member of staff here.
And no one's going to tell me I can't give you kisses. No, they're not. No, they're not.
If you already knew how many things this man has kissed, and you're still doing it.
Exactly. Well, and you're yet another one.
Yes.
Mwah. See you.
Take
Great
care.
to see you.
Hope to see you again.
Bye.
Bye. Ah, there he is, the man himself.
Morning.
Hi
How
again.
are you, Pauline? Good
All right,
to see you.
this is Josie.
Hi, Josie. How are you? So you're the one I have to blame for this ridiculously early morning start?
Well, if it was up to me, it wouldn't be this early.
Normally I'm used to getting up this time in the morning with 3 screaming kids, so actually this is quite calm.
It's 5 in the morning, and Scott is back at Secret World. It's been 6 weeks since he met Angus and Devon, and now they are ready for release.
Okay.
Scott will be going on the journey to release the fawns with their primary carer, Josie. It's her voice only that the fawns have come to recognise and trust,
Hello.
and they will need her reassurance during this stressful transition.
No, I'm a little bit teary. I don't really want them to leave, but they kind of have to. And I know it's what's best for them, you know, and I don't want to hold them back because of my feelings for them. It's all right. Hello. It's okay.
Little Devon was found huddled next to her dead mother after she'd been attacked by dogs. Angus was found in a ditch, alone and starving.
It's quite tense to catch young deer like that. They're still quite nervous.
Come on then, you.
And they've got tiny little legs that can break easily.
Come on then, gorgeous. Look, it's nice and warm and cosy. Devon will follow me. I just know she will. Good girl.
Wow, she was very good about that, wasn't she?
Good girl, Devon.
Now it's your brother to go.
He's a good boy, Angus.
You're right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Angus is quite flighty. He's a lot jumpier than Devon. Devon? If you could grab his back.
Yeah.
Good boy. Good boy. So I'm a bit worried about how he's going to sort of get in the crate. There we go. Good boy.
Well done.
Angus tried to have a bit of a pop at the end with Scott's quick handiwork with the door. We managed to get him in nice and comfortable. Now we're just really excited to get going. Good boy, Angus.
1, 2, 3.
It's going to be a long 4-hour journey from Somerset to the special release site in Surrey. Pauline is just hoping the fawns will stay calm and safe during the journey.
So you're going to drive the truck,
Yep.
I'm going to drive mine, and we'll reconvene on the road to check them over.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows he's got some precious cargo there and he's going to be careful, but no doubt Josie will be keeping her eye on him.
After the babies. I will. I'll see you later on.
It's always hard when we let animals go because we know that it's not the best of worlds out there, but we've done as much as we can and, you know, hope that they'll be safe now.
Hold on, Angus.
That's a good girl. What a good girl.
After a long 4-hour journey, Scott and Josie are about to arrive at the release site in Surrey with Devon and Angus.
It's a massive relief to have gotten here and that both the deer are safe and are moving on to this very exciting next stage in their life.
This lush private property is the fawns' new home, where they will be introduced to a herd of fellow deer.
Hello, gorgeous boy. Hello. There's a good boy.
Fantastic. How are you feeling?
Brilliant. Yeah, it's really, really good.
It's amazing, isn't it, to see him like that running around already and seems comfortable and...
Yeah, he's really enjoying it, look.
Look at you being all emotional.
I know.
It's like a proud mum.
He's loving it.
He's actually looking at that other deer already.
That's got to be a completely new feeling for him.
Finally back with his own kind.
He'll soon scoff their food.
Just like raiding another kid's lunchbox, do you reckon?
Well, at least you know you'll never starve.
Initially, the fawns will stay in a large pen with food and water. Over time, they will slowly graduate to independence.
Right.
Okay, the last one of your babies.
Hello, darling. You're doing a wee. Lovely.
Very nice.
Come on then, Sita.
Beautiful.
Hello,
See your brother.
gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous. There's a good girl. Hey? It's going to be really hard to say goodbye to them and leave them here. It's what's best for them. And I know that, but it is really difficult. Are you a good girl? And it's a really emotional time for me, as well as it is for them, I'm sure.
Josie is not the only one struggling with the separation. Unlike Angus, Devon is still looking for reassurance
Please don't beat me up.
before she takes her first steps towards a new life.
I'm really happy with where they are and how they're going to be, and that's just what I've got to remember when I want to take them home with me. Where is he, Devon? There he is. Just overjoyed, absolutely overjoyed. And it's just lovely to know that they're going to be happy here. I'm also a little bit nervous for what world awaits them, but they've had the best start. We can't do any more, so I just wish them the best of luck.
Well done. That's fantastic.
We've had some pretty unusual orphans land on the front doorstep of the clinic, but I've got to say this latest one, she's something special.
The Bondi Clinic has been a foster home for everything from possums to birds, even joeys. But in a few short days, Pan, the baby goat, has really settled in.
Not exactly a help around the clinic, you wouldn't say. Pan has a chew first, ask questions later approach to most things in life.
Oh, we love having Pan here.
The vet nurses have all fallen so in love with Pan. But there's a very special attachment between Liesl and her. Never lets her out of her sight. If you ask me, Pan thinks Liesl's a mum.
She just kind of puts a smile on your face when you see her. When you hear her, you walk past in a bad mood and you hear her and, man, oh, someone loves me.
As much as we do love having Pan around here, the reality is a vet clinic isn't the ideal home. She's eating anything and everything, so we've got to find a place for her in Bondi. That's not going to be easy. They've got to understand her needs.
Is that the beach? Is that the beach? Come on. Where are you? You Fruit Loop.
While the search continues for a new home for Pan,
You gonna go say hello to anyone?
Liesl has decided to immerse the kid in Bondi's beach culture.
Come say hello. Come here.
Are you scared, Kobe?
No. You can feel her little horns coming through too.
At first they're unsure. Is it a goat? No, it can't be a goat. No, it's a dog. It's one of those special dog breeds. No, I think it's a goat. It's a goat. It's hilarious.
You are such a show-off.
Meanwhile, at the clinic, Pan's fate is being decided.
Thank you. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Wow, it's good news for Pan. So Vaucluse House have offered to take her and her vices, and they're willing to take her straight away.
Vaucluse House is an historic mansion open to the public. Just a few days ago, one of its oldest residents, Lady, finally succumbed to old age. Now Pan will take her place.
The only problem now, though, is breaking this to Liesl. She's going to be devastated.
Yeah, dig out, go for your life. So you can have fresh fruit and veg all the time when you're down there.
It's a sad day for surrogate mum Liesl. Pan is departing for her new home at Vaucluse House.
Oh, it's really hard. She's the, my baby, and it's like watching her go off to school for the first day or something, I think. Bye, Bondi Junction. Oh, this is gorgeous. Guess I've got to go, huh? Yeah, but I'll come visit you as much as I can, I promise.
As you can see how much the two of them have bonded. It's hard on Liesl, but it's just the same. It's hard on Pan. Let's try and leave Liesl and see.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pan. I'm sorry, Pan. All right. Bye, Pan. It's like hearing your baby cry. Don't forget me, okay? Oh.
Today, Alison is heading outside Brisbane to a camel farm and one of the biggest challenges she's ever faced.
I've just received an SOS from Margie. She's asked me to come urgently to the camel farm. I'm excited to be there again, but a little bit worried, what are we dealing with? Let's do this.
Alison has had limited experience with camels, so helping vet Margie is going to be a massive learning curve.
Margie, it's massive. Humongous. How are we going to get it back in?
It's not great.
When I arrived, Janet's lying on her side and her entire uterus is actually outside her body on the ground. So it's extremely shocking to see this. Not only is she in pain, she's very weak at this point. Is it still going to be viable? If we can't get this uterus back inside, Janet will die.
So what we've got to do is, I've got to tie some ropes. Hey girls.
As other farm staff arrive to help, Alison and Margie must find a way to reinsert the new mum's prolapsed uterus before it's too late.
We'll tie the front legs because we can't get her to stand up because it'll cause too much trauma if she stands on that uterus. Poor Janet is in such a bad state at the moment. It's the entire bag that the baby has come in has now come outside her body. It's a true life and death emergency. We have to just improvise and make the best of this bad situation.
Close by, Janet's newborn daughter is also struggling to survive without her mum.
So what we've got to do is make a little makeshift operating theatre.
Oh, poor thing.
Hello, sister girl. Hey. No, Bubba. Bubba. Oh. Bubba. Janet is in a huge amount of distress. She's lost a lot of fluid in the birthing process. She's also going into shock and a lot of her body systems have shut down. Chill, 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 chill.
So a prolapsed uterus is actually where the uterus inverts, almost like a sock turning inside out and coming outside of the body. Janet's calf looks massive, and that probably explains why the labour was quite difficult.
All right, let's get some IV fluids set up. This is something Alison can absolutely nail. If Janet was in the wild giving birth, both animals would definitely be dead within 6 hours. This is a true veterinary emergency. If we don't treat Janet right now, she will 100% die. And if Janet dies, then the calf has no hope. Just watch your foot.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever heard the term hook a brother up? Okay.
Wow, look at this setup. Margie's really impressing me. She's come up with an ingenious plan to get the bag of IV fluids above her head level so she can slowly infuse those essential fluids into Janet's system. So she gets the farm buggy out, and that's just genius.
I just need her head to stay in this position. You can pop that catheter in, so you go that way. So out here, we've got so many more things to deal with than say if we were in the clinic. I have to improvise, I have to think something up, I have to MacGyver my way through the situation. So I'll just hook this IV up, so she's got some IV fluids.
Massive.
Get up through here. So there you can see we've got the fluids running in really quickly. We're going to need to replace at least 10 to 20 litres of fluid over the next hour or so to have any chance for her survival.
With Janet sedated and life-saving fluids now flowing through her veins, Alison and Margie focus on how to get the prolapsed uterus back inside the ailing camel.
So what we're looking at is the inner lining of her uterus, right? Yeah. It looks disastrous, but if we clean it up, it's not ideal, but the body will expel anything dirty.
Yeah.
So that will go in. We are up against time on this one. We've only got a couple of hours to replace Janet's fluids. We've only got another few hours on top of that to actually replace the uterus. Then we've only got a couple of hours to make sure the baby gets what she needs as well. The clock is well and truly ticking. Easy, easy. Oh. That's it. Just check that uterus is still in a good place. The case that we have here today is one of the most difficult jobs you have to do as a mixed practice veterinarian. We've literally got 20 or 30 minutes before Janet goes into complete shock. We've probably got 2 hours before we lose Janet entirely. Good job. Okay. We're going to put local anaesthetic into the space around her spinal cord and Janet won't feel a thing. It also helps with contractions. We're trying to put this giant organ back in and we don't want her to push it out. This is impossible to do without an epidural.
Uterine prolapse in general is bad. If you imagine a sock being pulled inside out, that's actually the inside of the uterus that we're seeing. So to manipulate that back in is going to be quite tricky.
It's about 50 kilos. This bit is and this is twisted.
But after disinfecting the uterus for reinsertion, a new danger threatens the already risky procedure.
Oh, Bobby. So I've just found worst case scenario for Janet. She has a tear in her uterus. If this tear gets any larger, this whole process is for nothing. Janet will absolutely die.
With the tear repaired, everyone is desperately hoping the stitches will hold as the arduous task of reinserting Janet's uterus begins.
Okay, so I've got her uterus resting on my legs.
Not wrong, this is heavy uterus.
Pushing it.
It's about 60 kilos of weight that we have to support and gently manipulate inside. And Margie does warn me that this is going to be a lot of physical work. This is extremely different to small animals that are on the operating table, definitely out of my comfort zone.
Okay, up. We have so many problems to deal with today. One of the biggest is that Janet will get worried, will want to go and feed her calf, and that she'll actually stand up and damage her uterus by actually standing on the uterus. She could rupture the uterus, and that is instant disaster.
It's a constantly evolving process. No, baby. No, baby. No, baby. Whoa!
That's it, that's okay. Stop straining, Bubba. Easy, easy, easy.
I'm extremely worried for Janet. There is a lot of issues going on. And at this stage, I don't even know we're going to get the uterus back inside.
That's it. It's helpful. It's not all just about getting the uterus back in perfectly and providing her with antibiotics. The problem is that once the uterus is back in, the weight of the uterus can actually rupture the middle uterine artery. If that ruptures, Janet will bleed out within 25 to 30 minutes.
Get it! No!
Oxytocin!
The reason she's straining isn't because she's feeling it, because her calf's here.
She's probably feeling everything and nothing all at one time. She knows she's given birth, she knows her calf is alive, she can't get up, she can't attend to the calf, and she doesn't know why. That's it. Okay, good.
Oh yeah, yep, it's going.
Good girl.
We're definitely getting there.
Finally, after almost 3 hours of fighting to save Janet,
Yep. Straight.
Margie and Alison complete the life-saving operation.
Good work, team. So we've done well.
It is such a relief when we finally finish operating on Janet.
No, Bobby.
Alison and Margie are exhausted, but now they must turn their attention to Janet's newborn calf.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
Hi.
You are massive. A very, very big calf, Alison, and I think that's why Mum might have had some struggles.
Like her mum, Janet's newborn daughter is also in a race against time.
We might call her Alison. What do you think?
Called Allie? Alison?
Alison?
Not so little Allie is actually really gorgeous. She's a beautiful colour, but she's actually in quite a lot of risk. That first milk that a calf takes is very, very important. If Allie hasn't had that first milk, she's at risk of passing away.
It's incredible to think that she was only born 5 hours ago. For our little calf, there's a really small window where that all-important mother's milk is actually able to be absorbed across the stomach lining. This is a really high-risk time for Janet's newborn baby. There we go.
Hello, Bubba.
So what we'll do is we'll take that up to the lab.
While her mum Janet recovers from her near-fatal surgery, Allie's blood tests will show how much danger her young life is in.
After all the work we have done on Janet, we are going to do absolutely everything we can to help this little baby fight for its life.
Oh, that doesn't look very good, Margie. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, let's see. So we're looking at the number.
The test reveals Ali's protein levels are dangerously low. She urgently needs a life-saving plasma transfusion.
So the first 6 hours of a calf's life are some of the most important in their entire life. That mother needs to stand up and provide that first milk that contains all the immune proteins, all the antibodies. If the calf doesn't get that colostrum in that first 6 to 12 hours, the calf has next to no future. Alison's got the catheter in. I'm just priming this plasma infusion.
So the blood tests indicate that Ali did not get that first milk. If she doesn't get this essential plasma, she may die.
As well as life-saving plasma, Alison gives her namesake milk they've just expressed from her mum, who's too weak to feed her newborn.
Here we go.
Let's just swap that out for her.
That's it. So while Mum's having a break, this is Dr Alison feeding Alison.
Oh, I'm just being Mum. So I'm giving Ali a bottle of warm milk, and it's just the best and most rewarding feeling to see her drinking, and it's good to know that she's going to be okay.
You had enough?
Mwah. I'm not going to kiss that now at all.
No.
Slobbery.
Real sticky.
Sticky
Do you want to go up there with the others? Go up with the others.
It's been an extremely tough day, both physically and emotionally, but it's really rewarding to know that we've done some good today, that little Ali is going to continue to thrive, and Janet's going to be a loving mother. Those legs, they're so long.
All right, now she's up and raring to go. The circle of life never ceases to amaze me. Bye, Ali.
Bye, Ali.
See you soon. Her calf will be around somewhere. Oh, hello.
A month after their life-saving battle to save Camel's Janet and Ali, Alison and Margie are back to check on the miracle mum and daughter.
See, this one's...
Yeah, this one's actually dripping a little bit of milk here.
Yeah.
It's the end of the birthing season, and while both are doing well, there have been another 12 new arrivals since Ali was born.
I'm extremely excited that Margie has invited me back to witness the beginning of a new camel life.
And baby, are you there? Doc will be here soon. Get you looked at.
Sandra, a wildlife carer, has arrived at the Bondi Clinic with a little orphan in trouble.
You're going to meet the vet, eh?
Earl, a baby eastern grey kangaroo, was rescued from the side of the road after her mother was killed by a car.
I suspect she's got a broken leg. She went to leap and she fell down on her front paws, and I thought, no, there's definitely something wrong here. So I think it's something pretty bad.
Hello, how you going?
Hi, pretty good.
Yep, we do have a kangaroo in the clinic.
This is Earl.
Hey Earl. All right, come on through and we'll see if we can help you out.
No worries. Thank you.
It turns out Earl is not here for a social visit. Sandy's driven her in quite a few hours to see me because she's in a lot of trouble. Okay, what's happened?
She was found on the side of the road next to a dead mum, hit by a car. And she's got a sore leg, so we're here to hopefully get the leg fixed. And so I'll throw myself on your mercy.
Okay. No pressure.
No pressure? No, of course not.
Okay. All right, let's get Earl the girl out and have a look.
I'm hoping Dr. Chris can fix her, whatever it takes. She's such a battler, and I can't give up on her. There's no way, you know.
Yes, a bit of pain there once I try to straighten that out.
Yeah, and it's probably why she's holding it close to her.
Yeah, exactly. You really can't understate the lengths that Sandy's gone to just to be seen by a vet to look after an animal that in the country a lot of people just put down. So she's really taken a chance on Earl, and you've just got to hope that it pays off. I want to put her on the ground there.
Yeah.
That right leg there is taking all the weight.
Yeah.
It's really stuck fast there, whereas this one here, there's no weight going through that. She's certainly not comfortable
When you look at it from behind, it's on a pretty bad angle.
It is. Earl's holding the leg quite flexed up as though that's the most comfortable way for her to have it, and that worries me. This could be a dislocation, it could be a serious sprain, or worse still, it could be a fracture. She's obviously got something fairly significant going on there, and in such a small, fragile little thing, it's always going to be a big challenge for her to overcome that.
Oh, baby.
We've got a really significant structural problem there, and kangaroos are notoriously difficult to treat. Their bones are very, very flexible, almost elastic. So if there is a problem with any of these bones here, they're not going to be easy to fix. What I might do is take some x-rays of her, just so we can assess what we're really facing here.
Yeah.
I guess the thing is, I don't really want to give you false hope if there isn't anything we can do.
Yeah.
But just know we're going to be trying everything we can, because she's already been through a lot.
She has. I'm just hoping that Chris can do something for Earl. I'm just living in hope at the moment.
Earl, the girl, I need to work out what's happening with this leg of yours. If I have any fear right now, it's the fact that these x-rays could reveal an incredibly nasty fracture, one that just can't be fixed with any kind of orthopaedic surgery. Looking at Earl's leg right now, it's a possibility.
X-ray!
Wow. Straight away you can see there's a pretty obvious fracture line running through the, kind of like the heel bone, I guess, of Earl's leg there, which explains why Earl is having so much trouble getting around on that leg. I guess the hope with any sort of injury in a young animal like Earl is that you might be able to bandage or splint it, but we have to do something fairly drastic with this, otherwise there's just no chance for her to lead a normal life. Looking at the x-rays, there's one clear conclusion that you can draw. The only way to fix Earl's problems is with an operation. So, what we have there is a fracture.
Okay. Are you going to be able to fix it?
Well, I can't really look her in the eye and after having travelled so far and turn around and say, no, we're not going to try. So, we're certainly going to give it a go.
Thank you. I'm never going to be able to thank you enough. You realise that, don't you?
Well, thank me after the operation.
All right.
Because obviously it's a pretty big deal for a little kangaroo.
Yep. I'm scared for Earl, but at the same time I'm hopeful, and I know that she's in excellent hands with Chris, and he's going to do his best possible job because his heart's in it. You know, he wants to save her as much as I want Earl to be saved.
It's a difficult goodbye. Sandra knows there are no guarantees that the operation will be a success.
The real challenge here is that, like her bones, Earl is small and is fragile. You usually only get one chance to fix these guys during surgery. Muck it up, and unfortunately, there'd be no future for Earl. Alright, so I'm just going to give this into the muscle. Okay, you're getting pretty close, aren't you?
During this complicated operation, Chris will be working with Dr Tony Mossman.
There are two things that really worry me about today. First of all, it's the anaesthetic. Kangaroos, and especially joeys, are incredibly fragile. I've learned myself the hard way that you can lose them at any time. Secondly, it's the type of operation here. We don't truly know what sort of fracture little Earl has, and we won't know until we're in there. But I just hope we can fix it.
The little orphan's guardian angel Sandra is trying to stay positive.
I'm hoping for an excellent outcome for Earl, but waiting for any animal to come out of an operation is a bit anxious.
Alright. All good? Alright, all good. Let's do it. If Tony and I are holding on to anything right now, it's the fact that if you give little joeys like Earl half a chance to heal, they will do it, and they'll do it quickly. So we need to come up with some sort of framework, some sort of structure to this leg, because right now, there really isn't any. There we go. You can see the fracture there now. So that base of that bone, I guess the heel bone there is just hanging by a bit of connective tissue. And this is the gap we need to close, hopefully with a pin
and some wires, but the challenge we face is the fact that Earl is so small and so delicate, and getting this back together, considering the size of the structures we're dealing with here, it's not going to be easy.
Just go a bit further down.
As we're pushing around trying to free up some space to actually get this pin and these wires in, we realise, hang on, there's actually something wrong here.
Oh dear, it's in 2 bits.
Oh wow.
So there's just little bits of bone everywhere. It's just like it's exploded.
Unfortunately, when Earl was hit by the car and her mother died, the impact of that injury has shattered all the bones. This is no longer a case of bringing a simple fracture back together.
Oh, it's just all like mush in there.
We're now facing a major obstacle. And when you think about everything that Earl's been through, losing a mum, having a serious leg injury, you've got to hope that now isn't the time where all hope is lost.
Unfortunately, there's nowhere we can really wire that.
Yeah.
Because it's just so soft.
The big hope when you're trying to repair a broken leg is that there's only one fracture, and that way those bone fragments come together relatively easily. In Earl's case though, it's not happening. Her bones have essentially shattered.
Chris had planned to stabilise Earl's fracture using a combination of wire and pins, but her young bones simply aren't strong enough.
Yeah, gee, that's not going to hold much.
It's like trying to run some sort of wire through cheese and pulling on it. It would just give way straight away. So a new plan is just to go with a single pin. Hopefully that'll be enough to stabilise it. With the right amount of dressing and the right amount of rehab, then we're a good chance. And really, because the bone's not providing the strength for this part of the leg, this pin has to do that job and hopefully become essentially the bridging structure, the real strength in this leg. Happy with that?
I think so. Okay, let's just take the pin driver off and see how stable it is. It looks pretty straight. It's probably as good as we'll get.
Yeah. All right.
Once the leg is stitched, an X-ray will confirm if the pin is in the right spot.
X-ray!
Okay, so pin's in place. It's the right distance in. Let's bring the 2 ends together. Much to everyone's relief, the pin is in exactly the right spot. So now it's straight back into surgery because the clock's ticking. And once we've done this, there's no turning back. Just over the top of that. Okay, all done. Wake her up. The pin's done a great job. It's gone right through the middle there. It's stabilised the entire area. And now, with the right mix of rest plus rehab, there's no reason why Earl can't be hopping around in, say, a month or so. Fingers crossed. You did well, girl. Yeah. All right, Sandy, come with me.
Okay.
You look all anxious.
I am.
Well,
You've got a smile on your face.
I do, which is a good sign.
Brave little survivor Earl is in recovery after the difficult operation to try to repair her badly fractured left leg.
So, here she is, and here's what we've done.
So, how did it all go?
It was quite tricky, actually. Rather than being one break, there were actually quite a few.
Oh.
There wasn't much to really put back together. So what we were able to do, though, was drive a pin through the middle.
Yeah, done the miracle. Oh, baby. Oh. Thank you so much from both of us. It's amazing. It's truly amazing.
Today seems to have gone well for Earl, but there's only one way to know for sure, and that's with a bottle of milk.
Her appetite's fantastic, so that hasn't changed. So.
The way she knows is to hold on to the bottle there, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So, I wanted to see her drink for a couple of reasons. One, because I thought it'd relax her and you.
Thank you. It worked.
But also, I thought that, look, if she's happy to drink and looking relaxed and looking like she's recovering well, then I can't see why you can't make that journey home.
Wonderful. That's excellent, yeah.
but she's still got one hell of a challenge in front of her. So in the next week or two, we'll have to meet up and make sure that everything's healing well.
That would be good, yes.
Now, you just can't question the commitment and the connection that Sandy has for Earl. And so I've got no doubt that over the next few weeks, Sandy's going to be watching her, constantly making sure that every need of hers is met. And for me, that's incredibly reassuring.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. It's been lovely to meet you.
It was lovely meeting you too.
And lovely to see how much you do care.
Okay, thanks.
Safe trip home.
Thank you very much.
I'm certainly relieved that Earl has done so well so far, but she still has a long way to go. And so understandably, everyone's nervous right now.
Baby girl. Yeah. There's the food.
Little Eastern Grey kangaroo Earl is back at the Bondi Clinic for a checkup.
Hello, Sandy.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, how are you? Confusing the dogs, are you?
Yeah.
Look at that. I ain't seen one like this before, have you? No. Yeah. Coming through.
Okay.
My big hope is that Earl hasn't been using the leg too much and that the swelling has come down. If we can see a leg that is more comfortable, that is less swollen, then I'll be happy. Has she been trying to use that leg?
Yes, she has.
You're still keeping her very quiet, keeping her off the leg.
Yeah, keeping her off, yep.
And that's a really critical thing. I still think we're probably about another 2 weeks away from her being able to start some very gentle and occasional hopping.
That would be good.
But what I'd like to do first of all is get that bandage off.
Yeah, yep.
Give her a little bit of physio and get her stitches out.
Yeah.
And then just assess where she's at. Because this excites me, you know, the fact that she is so keen to get going. It's a really good thing.
It is, yes.
So while all the signs look good from the outside, there's no way of knowing exactly what the injury is doing on the inside of that bandage. Okay.
How's it looking?
Looking pretty good.
Yeah, it is. The size is good.
Yeah. Because we are keeping this leg restricted, we need to make sure she doesn't lose the mobility in this leg.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to gently lift that up. And you can see that band there starts to tighten.
Yeah.
So we'll just give that a little bit of tension and release it. Much like a human physio does, what I'm trying to do here is just flex up that leg of Earl's, hold it for 10 seconds, and then release it. By doing that, you start to loosen any tight tendons that might have developed. So that is progress right there.
Yeah.
But to truly know just how much progress we have made, I do think we need to take an X-ray.
Okay.
We'll get a good idea about how that bone's mending, whether it's managing to form the callus, I guess the bridge over those broken fragments.
Yeah.
And from there, I guess we'll have a really clear idea about how long it is before we can get Earl hopping around.
Okay.
The surgery that Earl went through, we hoped it would be textbook, but it was far from it. And because that pin is holding together so many small fragments of bone, my big concerns are the fact that the pin could have either moved out of place or it may not be healing at all. All this will be uncovered with one simple shot. All right, ready to go.
X-ray!
Chris is in there X-raying Earl, and I'm just trying to stay positive.
All right, okay, that's good. In terms of its alignment, I'm still really happy with that, and the join is pretty neat. The good news is the pin is certainly still in place and exactly where I want it. There's no sign of infection there. The only downside is the fact these bones just aren't dense enough. Thankfully though, it's easily fixed with some calcium. All right.
Thank you.
X-rays, it's mostly good news.
Oh, good.
So those bones have actually started to come together.
Yeah.
But they're doing it slowly.
Right.
The pin is providing that framework we need,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yep.
But the bones are still a little bit pale on the X-rays.
Right.
And they're not necessarily healing as quickly as I'd like. It probably seems strange that a joey that's being fed only milk could ever get a calcium deficiency. But when they're being fed these formulas, it's one formula for a whole lot of different kinds of animals. Joeys, however, need a lot more calcium than other animals.
A calcium supplement should help strengthen Earl's bones and assist in her recovery. Now Chris needs to remove her stitches and rebandage the leg.
I'm trying to do this firm but not too firm, just so you don't get the swelling like you had last time.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
Okay.
That bandage can stay on for a week. And really, we get through one more bandage change to get ourselves to 2 weeks from now. I think we can look at our first hops.
That would be good. We're on a positive course now. She's a little fighter, you know, and it's just all paid off. Like, yeah, I can't thank Chris enough for what he's done to her, and I'm just positive that the end result will be wonderful for Earl.
All right.
Okay, I'll put it back in the pouch.
And safe trip home.
Thank you, will do.
For me, it's kind of a funny mix of emotions right now. I'm relieved that we've managed to get Earl to this point. I'm excited about what lies ahead, but at the same time, I'm not too cocky to think that things can't still go wrong. If we just stick to our guns, if we just do everything right from now on, then Earl could just have a beautiful life ahead. Well, well, well. People say you don't get kangaroos in Bondi. How are you, Sandy?
Pretty good, how are you?
Hello.
2 weeks later in Bondi, it's time to find out if surgery on little orphan Joey Earl has been a success.
She has grown a lot.
Yes.
She's kind of almost part adult now when you look at her. That head of hers is like the real deal, aren't you?
6 weeks ago, Chris performed a risky operation on the little Roo.
Yeah, gee, that's not going to hold much. So we put a pin in, and I guess then splint. Yeah.
It was a marathon effort to try to repair the frail Joey's badly shattered leg.
The first thing to check really is this leg that has had the fracture is moving comfortably. If it is, then we know the pin's still in place and it should have healed up nicely.
All right, so obviously just like a human leg after it's had a plaster cast on it, it's going to be a little skinnier, but it'll all start to recover. Good thing is, everything's the same length. It looks good. Everything is in perfect alignment and there's no unexpected swelling. She's getting fidgety too, isn't she?
Yeah,
like she really wants to get moving.
Yeah, she does. And, you know, like, I didn't want her to put weight on that bad foot and ruin everything you've done.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We've finally got to the point now where having those feet on the ground is the reality. But at the same time, it could be a dangerous reality because kangaroos love to hop and Earl's going to be in a hurry.
Oh well. You just feel your way there. How's that? Look at you.
Oh, you good girl.
She's using her front legs as well.
Yeah. I prayed for this to work out like this, and I'm absolutely just stoked she's mobile again.
Yeah.
You know.
Her first few steps, they're not confident, but at the same time, they're impressive. For a Joey that hasn't been able to walk for 8 weeks, to be able to gently move herself around like this takes a lot of courage, but also takes a bit of skill as well. She gets better after a few minutes, gets a balance, but then after a few minutes more, she gets tired.
I'm feeling relieved. That was my one wish and hope, that it was the day where, you know, the bandage comes off Earl and I see her put weight on there and I see it pointing in the right direction, the foot. And yeah, I just can't thank Chris enough for what he's done.
Well, she's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for everything you've done for her.
She's had a big day
Yes,
already. I don't really like to say no or to believe that something isn't possible. And as you see Earl just taking those gentle steps around and seeing her senses light up, and you realise that this is why you do your job, is to give a second chance to those that may otherwise not have one. Feels pretty good.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kate, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the Bondi Vet YouTube channel. Click on the screen for more great content. And for free, exclusive, never seen before Bondi Vet stories, you can sign up to bondipet.com, and you can do so via the link in the description.